Okay, let's go back to the Middle East. And Vanessa, a bit of context maybe for what's been happening.
Yeah, I think just for people to fully understand the elements that led to Iran's retaliation against Israel last night. So, first of all, of course, we had the assassination of Saeed Hassan Nasrallah, the Secretary General of Hezbollah, in the center of the south of Beirut in a civilian area. 85 2,000-pound bombs were dropped in order to destroy the underground sort of tunnels and offices where he was, alongside, of course, an Iranian commander also. But on the 29th of September, Israel attacked 4 countries in 24 hours. So let's just have a quick look at a video summarizing that. And of course, all of these attacks killed civilians, including in Damascus when 3 people were killed, including a colleague, a journalist, and 9 were injured. And of course, not only these attacks, Israel has been attacking Syria, trying to destroy air defense radar and systems to clear a pathway for future air aggression against Syria, clearly. Then US officials quietly backed Israel's military push against Hezbollah, which included the assassination of the Secretary General. Remembering Hezbollah is a political entity. It's a political party in Lebanon, and it's part of the interim government. Senior White House figures privately told Israel that the US would support its decision to ramp up the military pressure against Hezbollah, even as the Biden administration publicly urged the Israeli government in recent weeks to curtail its strikes, according to American and Israeli officials. As I've mentioned, as it also mentions, whenever you have American officials in Lebanon or anywhere in the region, it is generally followed by an escalation. And then if we look at the actual damage from the Israeli attacks in Lebanon, the red dots are obviously the areas that Israel is targeting. And as you can see, it's not only contained to the south, it's along the whole border areas. Of course, we believe the attempt will be to close the borders between Lebanon and Syria, to isolate Lebanon and isolate Syria. 1,208 dead. I think that is now much higher. Unfortunately, we're now at around 2,000. 104 children, 194 women, 1 million displaced people, many of whom have come into Syria and are being resettled in various governorates here, and also being provided with medical care and so on in the already overtaxed Syrian hospitals. And then let's have a look at the speech that Netanyahu gave at the UN regarding the curse and the blessing maps. Let's just have a look at this, quite extraordinary.
It's a map of a curse. It's a map of an arc of terror that Iran has created and imposed from the Indian Ocean to the Mediterranean. Iran's malignant arc has shut down international waterways. It cuts off trade. It destroys millions, destroys nations from within, and inflicts misery on millions. It's a map of a blessing. It shows Israel and its Arab partners forming a land bridge connecting Asia and Europe between the Indian Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea.
Of course, I'll remind people of Kennedy's statement, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., when he basically pointed out Israel's role for the United States in this region. And of course, part of that is to prevent the rise of the Chinese Belt and Road Initiative, of Russia, of Iran. And of course, that means including the blessing, which is the Middle East Economic Corridor, which goes from India through the Gulf states, Israel, to Europe. Then this image has been circulating of when Netanyahu gave the approval for the assassination of Nasrallah. Now, some have reported it was in his hotel room. Some have said it was at the UNGA. It doesn't matter. It was when he was at the UN. So that says something about the role of the UN in all of this also. And then let's go on to what was actually used, remembering, of course, the claim that Iran put civilian lives in danger when it attacked the occupied territories of Palestine last night. What are the bunker buster bombs? This is from Press TV, also known as ground penetration munitions. Each bomb weighs between 900 and 1,800 kilograms with the ability to penetrate up to 30 meters of earth or 6 meters of concrete. Upon detonation, bunker busters generate powerful shock waves that can collapse heavily fortified structures like civilian apartments. And then if we have a look at the next image, we can actually see the extent to which these bombs did penetrate the foundations of the multiple residential blocks that were around the area where they killed Nasrallah. And on the right is an image of the actual explosion. And then finally, Mike, you referred to whether or not Iran feels under threat. And that might be one of the reasons, alongside all of the other elements that of course, have led to this retaliation, including the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh, Hamas's leader in Tehran in July. But let's just have a listen to Netanyahu speaking again. Remember when he spoke to the Lebanese people? Now he's speaking to the Iranian people.
I speak a lot about the leaders of Iran. Yet at this pivotal moment, I want to address you, the people of Iran. I want to do so directly, without filters, without middlemen. Every day, you see a regime that subjugates you make fiery speeches about defending Lebanon, defending Gaza. Yet every day, that regime plunges our region deeper into darkness and deeper into war. Every day, their puppets are eliminated. Ask Muhammad Def. Ask Nasrallah. There is nowhere in the Middle East Israel cannot reach. There's nowhere we will not go to protect our people and protect our country. With every passing moment, the regime is bringing you, the noble Persian people, closer to the abyss. The vast majority of Iranians know their regime doesn't care a whit about them. If it did care, if it cared about you, it would stop wasting billions of dollars on futile wars across the Middle East. It would start improving your lives. Imagine if all the vast money the regime wasted on nuclear weapons and foreign wars were invested in your children's education and improving your health care, in building your nation's infrastructure, water, sewage, all the other things that you need. Imagine that.
Extraordinary projection there. I think you could apply that to the UK, the US, the EU, and Israel.
Yes, indeed. Thank you